Hello and welcome to Heavy Metal Rex. My name is Wace, and today I wanted to take some time to step back and take a look at the landscape of YouTube's creators and content creators and in general that are a part of this particular platform. The platform that I'm referring to is the VBWRX. Now, recently, I'd say within the last month or 2 months, we've lost two really good people in the VBWRX community. One would be Tanner from his channel Media. He actually sold his VBs to move on to a different kind of boxer, which is fine. He was never really somebody that I felt was going to maybe stay in the VB community because his style of what he wants to do with his cars is a little different than what we can currently achieve, at least in the regular sense with our cars. And second was Cody, who did sell his car for, or at least he got rid of it for other reasons, which I'm going to go ahead and get into as well. Now, if you have never seen Smedia's channel, he does a lot of building of all kinds of cars, not just WRXs, even though as far as I've ever known him, he's been the WRX, or in this case, the Subaru guy. That's how I always know him. I actually never really saw any of his other content when he did with the Zevo and stuff, and now he has even more interesting cars, like he's got the FD RX-7, he's got a Porsche, which is very cool, but I mean, that's the kind of channel he is. He literally builds stuff. He builds his cars. He buys parts, he builds them. You know, and that's a little different than what I do and what like some of the other content creators in this landscape of the VB currently do. We actually just bolt stuff on. And we'll talk about that a little bit as well. Now, Cody, he's been in the WRX game for a very long time. His original car was a VA WRX. I can't remember exactly what year it was, but when I was looking for my WRX, before I had bought my VA, I was actually watching his channel and all the different things that he had done in anticipation that when I got my VA WRX, I would actually do that. Now, of course, he lost that VA WRX, and later on, he ended up getting a VB WRX, and you know now he's out of the game for that. And one of the things that he cited was, you know, it's a lot of money. It is a lot of money, and that's something I also wanted to talk about because as a content creator, there's two problems that you're going to run into: is creating content, and sometimes how to pay for that content you want to create. Because even now, this channel has been going on for over a year and a half, and I'm getting close to 10,000 subscribers, and it seems like this great, big, monumental feat, and it really is. I am floored by the amount of support that I get for the things that I do. At the same time, it is not easy to run a car channel, and we've talked about that on this channel a few times. Parts cost money, and sponsorships aren't things that are just falling out of the sky. You know, I have asked quite a lot of people to see if they would be interested in sponsoring the channel or, you know, providing me parts here or there. Not so much that I can make videos with those parts, because the installation videos themselves aren't always really what's going to take you to the end. Because if you look at Tanner, the only way he's going to keep making content is if he keeps buying stuff that he can keep building forever. And you kind of get stuck doing that, and guess what? If you don't have anything to build, what are you going to film? You know, there are other videos that you can make, other things that you can do, like what it is I'm doing right now, but I think that's where the content creator part comes in, is people don't fully understand that you have to literally create the content that you want to present to people. And that's something even myself, I struggled with at the very beginning. I wouldn't make a video unless I had something to buy or something that was sent to me that I could install. Now, I do get tons of emails from like random foreign companies for all kinds of weirdo parts like LEDs or head units, just weird stuff like that, that I pretty much say no to because it's not what I want to do. You know, even if I get a part, I want to be able to stand by it, that it's actually decent. So there's a lot of pitfalls in trying to make content just based off parts. You know, another example that I can give, and I hope he doesn't mind that I'm saying this, is Flyline WRX. You know, he's a great guy. I love him to death. I can't wait to meet him. But if he's looking to make an installation video of a particular part and he only has that X amount of money to buy that part, and now he's stuck waiting on that part, it kind of puts a damper on things, right? And it can sometimes make you feel a little like you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, or you're not able to do what you want to do. Most of the stuff that I have gotten has been like not very different than what everybody else gets. You know, like obviously this is a much newer car, so it's not like there's tons of IAG block builds out there or people actually building these engines on a massive scale, especially for like most of us regular people. I mean, right now, and when I say regular person, I mean most people that own a WRX or a VAWX or an older one or even older STI, at some point they're gonna build an engine. They're gonna put an engine in there, and they have, and it costs some money, but like they've factored the cost into that. And so they're like pretty much accustomed, like, okay, I'm gonna be spending at least $6 grand on this eventually. Whereas we're not there yet in the FA community. There's one other content creator I wanted to bring up, and that was Monk WRX, who has now switched to Monk Marrow because he I don't know if he got rid of his WRX because I haven't talked to him in a while, but he ended up picking up a Camaro. So, you know, even this car, I mean, look, hate it or love it, it was a very recognizable VB in our community. And what I liked about it, it wasn't just visual, he actually had a lot of performance under the hood. He was making somewhere around 400 some wheel horsepower on the low end, that's fantastic. But again, it was a bolt-on car. And so that brings me to the next part, you know, like, is this a car that a lot of people are building? You know, we look at this media example, one of the reasons he gave was it was a fun car, but it wasn't something that he truly enjoyed, and plus he couldn't build it the way he wanted. And now, to be fair, you can potentially build this car with getting parts from like IBR and other people who are willing to make one-off parts for you, but as of right now, they're not just like mass-produced for people to like your everyday average Joe like myself, or even Joey Montalto, to go out into our garage and just buy like a new manifold and a new this, new that, and just build the car and like throw in whatever auxiliary fueling that you would want into the car to make the kind of power you want. And that's just not the landscape that we are at today. And this is a fact, right? I actually got into a huge argument on Facebook about this, and I want to point that out. But before I move on to that, I want to show you these are just some of the VB WRXs that are on Instagram. I just typed in, you know, hashtag 22WRX, and this is what pops up. Now, all of these cars look fantastic, right? But each and every one of these cars under the hood, as of right now, are, if I have to bet, identical. I mean, what do we got? We got an intake, we got either a front mount or top mount, or we got a J-pipe. End of story, right? And most of these don't even have the hood open because who knows if some of these cars are even actually modified to make more power. The one that is actually shown right here. He's got, you know, at least a front mount and intake. I can see that, you know. But some of these cars like these, you know, I don't really, okay, so I see the Perrin front mount there. This one doesn't have anything. So I don't know what is going on underneath there. You know, most of these cars you can tell if they have, usually if they have this brace, chances are if it's not the NBR one, they're not gonna have a front mount because it doesn't fit. And I'm not picking on these cars, I'm just looking at this, you know, there still isn't a whole lot that we can do as average people, as just weekend enthusiasts. Now, people with a whole lot of money or people who have shop cars and things like that, their pockets will allow them to do a lot more than we can. And I understand that. That's another thing where, when it comes to content creating on the building aspect, can be difficult. Then you end up going and finding like smaller parts from different places, you know, like little things that you can do, you know, to install in your car, like pitch stops and shifter plates and things like that. But really, nobody's watching those videos unless they're looking for that actual installation. And like I've said many times before, how many installation videos of the same part do you truly need on YouTube? Which is, you know, I have maintained that since the day I started this channel, is installation videos aren't super fun. They're a necessary evil because I think that sometimes there are parts of the installation that other people can miss out on or leave out. So having a few is definitely helpful. But I mean, once you install the part, it's done, you know? For me, the fun comes from everything else, of the actual knowing of what's happening in the community. You know, like I love doing my tuner talks, I love doing racing videos. I actually like to go take the car to the track, go take it here, go take it there, and actually do something with it, not just install parts, you know. And these are also two different fields. You know, the guys that like to, you know, like some of these Instagram cars, like these guys like to sit and be show cars. And that's fine. You know, it's a different world. So I guess it really depends on what you're building for. Cody and I, obviously we were building for the car to be fun to drive, you know, Joey as well, building these cars to be fun to drive. And so there's a plateau with how many installation videos you can make. So now, that aside, I want to point out something that this is somebody on Facebook actually made this comment. Specifically, the one that I want to talk about is this right here. He says, but guys like that are not out to improve a car or a community. They're out to get views, and that's it. He's referring to another content creator here, and the reason why I don't believe that is basically, in so many words, he's saying that if you're a YouTube person or a content creator or something, you're not trying to do anything with the car. You just want to get views, and of course that's true. He's not wrong. Obviously, the point is to get views, but at the same time, I think that it's not fair to discount what any of these content creators, past or present, or even future have, well, I can't say future, past or present have done, because like, I cannot tell you how many times I went through one of Smedia's videos that people were like, oh man, I wasn't gonna buy this car until you made a video or until you did that thing and it sold me. Or, you know, same thing with Cody, you know, somebody will be like, oh, well, I wasn't gonna buy this car until you did this one thing and now I bought that exact same one because I like the way it looks. I think, yeah, we are not pushing the envelope of what a car can do, but what we are pushing is the interest of these cars in the community so that the shops and all these manufacturers can see like, wow, you know, a lot of people are buying this car. We should make random parts for it. I think that'd be a good idea, et cetera, et cetera. Because if there's not a lot of people buying the cars, parts manufacturers just wouldn't build the part. It wouldn't make any sense. They wouldn't make enough money, et cetera, et cetera. And so I just found that to be really an interesting thing to say, but not truly encapsulating what a content creator can do, because I truly believe that. I think the more that I showcase a car, the more people will see its potential, the more people will buy it, the more companies want to build parts for it, the more those people will be happy, right? It's all a part of one ecosystem. And so going back to losing these guys, and hopefully we don't lose any other guys, it does shrink the amount of the views overall that are available on the internet for somebody to be like, hey, you know what? I never thought about a VBWX until I watched that guy, or until I watched this girl, or I saw that picture on Instagram, or whatever the case may be. And it sucks. It sucks to see them go. I know for a fact that I will see Cody in the future, because I am going to go to Pennsylvania for Boxer Fest, so hopefully I'll get to see him there. I am going to go to Portland eventually, or go to Washington, because I want to go see Perrin and ETS, and I'll get a chance to talk to Tanner as well, and I look forward to his his opinions on this as well. But being a content creator is not easy. We are constantly trying to do something that it's not a necessary thing in the world, but just like television, also not necessary, and neither is streaming. You guys enjoy the things that we do, and so that's where we get that support. And this is the only way that we grow, to be able to do more and more stuff. And I still have so many more fun things to do. I just wanted to talk about this because these guys, they're friends of mine, and it makes me sad, and hopefully I will get to see some of them come back in the future. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.